A lot of people assume that you are the boss because you say you are the boss. This is one of the biggest misconceptions in business. People just think that people are bosses because they treat other people worse, because they command other people, because they act like a boss. This is not how you become a boss. You become a boss by taking responsibility that no one else wants to take. You become a boss by working when nobody else wants to work. You become a boss by working more hours than anybody else is willing to work. And you become a boss by doing things that no one else wants to do. That is how you become a boss. And by doing all of these things, people will automatically perceive you like a boss, because that's just how it works, right? A boss is someone that leads other people, and other people follow other people that guide them in a good way, right? In a productive way that will better their lives and that will make them feel like they are safe and like they are guided well. This is how you really become a boss. I've seen so many businesses that I worked for, that I worked with, that I consulted, and that I also observed from the outside. And there are so many of them that still live in the mindset of that perception of a boss. They still live in that mindset that a boss needs to command people, and that the boss is the person who commands other people. Doesn't matter if it's for good or the worse, right? This is such a bad way, and probably the worst way ever. This will ruin your company culture. This mindset will ruin your reputation among the people who are working for your company. And here's another hidden gem. The people that are working for your company are actually what makes your company. Just for the sake of it, right? I don't know why people don't understand this. It's actually crazy to me. I don't get it at all. Sorry, I have to fix my exposure here real quick on the fly. Yeah, it's actually mind-boggling to me that so many people still live in a mindset of having the completely wrong perception of what the role of an actual leader and boss is. So many businesses do that wrong. And this is actually exactly the type of business that I don't want to work with. Because these businesses are basically the worst clients you can imagine. You definitely don't want to work with, for, or along a company that still lives in the mindset, or lives in that mindset, not even still, but in general lives in the mindset of the perception of needing a person to just delegate stuff, move work around, and command other people as the ultimate boss. Because that is just a recipe for disaster. You don't want to work for a Napoleon complex company. This is the worst clients you can imagine. This is the worst businesses you can imagine. This is the worst work environment you can imagine. This is the worst of everything. So just take it from me, just take it from this video. A leader is not a leader by choice. A boss is not a person who calls themselves a boss. A boss is a person that has the ability to move the ship, guide the ship, and save the ship. That is a boss. And a boss is not a title. A boss is a person that has these traits, execute these traits, and therefore becomes the boss naturally. And then they might also have the title written on a piece of paper, written on a piece of sheet, where it says they are the boss. People need to get rid of this mindset and of this understanding of thinking that the boss is the person who is just the boss because they are the boss. This is just the worst of everything, man. It's just the wrong thing. Just scratch that, just get rid of that thought, and then try to really understand what's happening. And as I said, you might as well be stuck working with or for a company where you have a boss like that. And if you have one like that, you already know what I'm talking about. I don't even need to explain it. The thing is, you want to get rid of that. You don't need that in your life. There's plenty of other scenarios where you will not have that. There's plenty of companies out there that get it right and that will actually have a great company culture where you can have a happy life, where you can do your best job possible, where they actually value what you bring to the table instead of just delegating you around and then giving you bad feedback even if you do a great job, right? You don't need that. So this is my piece of advice for you. So many people still get it wrong in 2026. It's almost mind-boggling. I don't get it. I've came to that conclusion many moons ago, at least 15 years ago, and ever since I still encounter businesses all the time where they have these mannequin type of bosses, where they just have like a Napoleon complex and they feel so good about themselves because they have the title written on a paper that they are the boss, but they don't deserve it at all. They don't achieve anything and they are just a waste of money, to be honest. That sounds harsh, but that's kind of the reality of it. They're not productive, they don't help anybody, they don't steer the ship into the right direction, they don't guide people well, they don't give people the impression of safety. Actually, the other way around, they give people the impression of not being safe because these people know they cannot do it right no matter what they do. Even if they do the best job possible, person will still not be pleased because they don't even know what they're searching for. Anyways, I could make this a long video, but we don't need to do that. I think the point came across. One more thing to add. If you want to be called the boss, then you should follow the advice of the other people, right? If you want people to perceive you like you are actually the boss, and if you want people to talk to their friends about how you are the greatest boss ever, then you should follow my advice. I hope you enjoyed this one. If so, please leave me a thumbs up. Please leave me your comments down below. And yeah, just give me some input what you want to hear, what type of topics you want me to create videos about. Business advice, life advice, just let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, on that note, thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one. Peace out. Rock and roll.